It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations are brought to you by Miller Lite.
That's awkward.
What happened?
I mean, it's just awkward. It's my boy Stu, and then it's not Stu. It's you.
By my boy you.
Yeah. Doesn't really work.
Dan, he had a rough start to the series. But like any great player, with their backs against the wall, he rose to the occasion, facing 23 shots and saving every bleeping one. And Dan, just like that, make no mistake about it, after a shutout, playoff Bobrovsky is back.
It's my dog. Let's go.
Celtics shooting 50% from three this series in their win and under 30% from three in their losses. You know what they say, Dano? You live by the three, you die by the three.
That's true.
And the Celtics are dying.
Yes.
Knicks deserve to lose for wearing an alternate jersey at Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. You don't wear Navy uniforms in your biggest game of the season. What happened to just wearing white at home?
Dude, I don't know what the Pacers uniform is anymore.
Just wear white. Home team wears white. Why are we complicating things? No beeps, okay. Boston Celtics, the rare season that ends along with next season too. Tough break for old Jason Tatum, huh?
Is that what we're doing? I know it's a tough injury to come back from. I know he won't get back till late next season, but we're going to knock 2 seasons out with that injury?
They're done.
Yeah.
They're done. Unless they trade for Giannis. No beeps. The M in Mikal Bridges stands for mid-range. Mid-range, lost art. Top 5 mid-ranges in NBA history.
Ooh.
OLI, Tyrone Hill, 18-foot pick and pop. Number 5, Chris Paul.
I've already got a problem with this list.
Number 4, Richard Hamilton. Rip. Number 3, DeMar DeRozan. Number 2, Michael Jordan. Number 1, Sean Livingston.
I agree with your number 1.
He never missed.
I agree. Your number 1 is perfect, actually, ahead of Michael Jordan.
It was an amazing stat. Sean Livingston never missed a mid-range jump.
Not once. Don't look now. Here come the Cardinals.
Which ones? One's in Rome?
UFL, the Showboats, 1-6, minus 93-point differential. Hey, Showboats, maybe it's time for a name change. Showboat be sinking.
I mean, it was tough to survive that Ken Wisenhunt stepping down right before the season started.
Showboats, sink it fast. Top 5 sunken boats. OLI, USS Arizona. Thank you for your service. Number 5, the ship from Robinson Crusoe. Number 4, the SS Minnow. Number 3, the Black Pearl. Number 2, the Showboats. Number 1, Titanic. Panthers, Maple Leafs, we're waiting. Series hasn't started yet, Dan.
Get out of here. So
It
stupid.
hasn't started.
What if it goes 7 games? The home team wins every game. These series never happen?
Won't have started then. We'll still be waiting. Nobody.
What are you not understanding about this?
It's dumb.
Saz?
It's a dumb saying.
What do you mean it's dumb? It was authored by that seat. What do you mean that seat says that's a dumb saying?
He did not invent that.
I mean, it's dumb. I almost puked in games 3 and 4, and you're telling me that this series hasn't started?
Hasn't started yet.
This show did actually invent something, though, which is the Wake the Kids Up game.
You can't say
Which is
no, you
OKC
No.
versus Sirs in
Wake
the
'em
final.
up!
Wake those kids up. Do not put those kids to bed.
We do that in my house.
Let them watch.
We do that in my. We have Wake the Kids games.
Let the
in my
boys
house.
watch.
Let the boys
Let
the
the boys watch.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, kills a puck in the corner like the Florida Panthers.
That's
Hell
the
yeah.
truth.
Absolutely.
I loved it in game 3. Like the ovation
It was
that the
great.
crowd gave with like a minute 30 left.
Everybody giving the elbows. Like,
Oh.
you remember when they did that in Game 7?
It's so beautiful.
Better than porn. You're like,
Nice. Easy.
Billy, wouldn't you agree
Give me
that
started,
it's sort of a pathetic thing to be great at, like proud of? Like, we can keep you in the corner for 90 seconds like
Yeah.
nobody's
We're
business.
the best
you
at
win
kneeling
games.
the football.
Trap that puck right up against the wall.
Billy, do I have it wrong when I say that the greatest moment from last season was those last 90 seconds
McDonough on
in
the call.
corner?
McDonough.
12 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Better than porn.
No,
I
it's not.
remember that.
No, porn's
for
great.
those who don't.
Porn's great.
Nothing is more Florida than chanting USA with only 4 Americans on your roster.
I'm surprised we have four. Honestly.
Name them, Zaslow.
Austin Matthews must have been so mad when the crowd here chanted USA.
Who are the 4 Americans on the Panthers?
Kachuk? I know we got Kachuk.
Yeah, that's a one.
That's the one.
I don't think. Is there another one? Wait, is like AJ Greer American? Then I don't like.
Seth Jones?
Seth Jones.
Seth Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
Popeye
Jones.
Popeye Jr. Yeah. I get the Rockies. We're 7-33, but you can't fire Bud Black minutes after a win. Let him have the night.
It's a good bounce back.
Bud Black, great name for a baseball manager. Also, Bud Black, great name for a weed strain. Smoking that Bud Black. SEC softball championship was canceled for weather, and Oklahoma and Texas A&M were declared co-champions. Hey SEC, if you have 2 champions, you have none.
The arms race and NIL for softball is insane.
Nate Schmidt?
Is he American?
Yeah. Maggie Samuskevich.
No, there's
Yeah,
no way.
He's right about
Yeah.
that too.
Mackey?
So those
Yeah.
are the
Yeah.
4?
Oh, we have 4.
Noon Connect. There's actually 5.
What?
Yeah. Breaking news.
Who's the 5th?
Nate Schmidt, you said.
Yeah.
Okay, while you do this research, let me
Jacob
keep doing it.
Magna.
I don't know who that is.
His defenseman. He
Oh,
played a few
defenseman.
games for us.
He's from
Smegma?
Plantation, Florida.
That's
Hometown.
not a great weed strain, Jacob.
Megna.
Indiana Pacers, do it in the finals. Cleveland Cavaliers, do it in the playoffs. Jamal Murray, do it in the regular season.
What?
Pause for laughter. Shula's Joe Jackson, do it with shoes on. Pete Rose, do it when you're alive.
Oh, no.
What happened? Nico Harrison, chess, not checkers. Hey, Mavericks fans, the ones that booed Nico for trading Luka, you can't cheer for Cooper Flagg. Hey, Heat fans, the ones that didn't want to get the number 1 overall pick, 1.8% chance. Doesn't look so bad now. At least you'll always have the most lopsided series in NBA playoff history.
What about the Zaslow game?
You got to see Pearl Jam, so that's an important thing.
Twice.
How does transitive property work with the Pacers? Are they 244 points better than the Miami Heat?
At least. Nico Harrison getting rewarded after screwing up. Nico Harrison, the Stugotz, is strong in you. Nothing is more American than immediately wondering what teams the new Pope cheers for. White Sox, by the way. It's outside. Dodgers, 500 over their last 10 games. Overrated. Shohei Ohtani, do it from the mound. Top 5 athletes that connote the Pope and the conclave. Number 5, Ryan Church. Number 4, Bishop Sankey. Number 3, Brian Cardinal. Number 2, Kavosi Smoke. Number 1, Mark Pope. Is it?
I thought it was Cavassier.
Yeah, that's what happens when someone else writes a joke. Minnesota Twins, getting hot. Dan, do you know what the P in Michael Porter Jr. stands for? It stands for pass the ball to Jokic.
He was terrible last night.
I mean, what the hell is he doing? Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dan, those are the weekend observations.
I have a couple of questions for you guys. I believe you guys might not have caught this, that we have our first historic Zaz snort laughing at something on the air. Did you guys hear the?
I did. I was like, did he burp?
No, it was a little. It was a little snort, and he was laughing at the idea of a weed strain being named Bud Black. Let's come up with some names, athlete names that I think we could do better than Bud Black. I wanted to ask you guys something else, though, about pathetic things that a champion can be proud of, because the amount of pride that just came through this room at the idea that this group has a hockey team that better than anyone can put a puck in a corner. And you can think at the end of Game 7 last year, is that Connor McDavid wide open right in front of the net? No, he's not, because the puck is never going to get there. And it looks like why would they leave him that open? Because he's not open. Because that's where the puck dies for the remainder of the season. That's where your season dies. You're not going to get it out of there. Explain to me something more.
Goosebumps just talking
explain
about
to me something more pathetic than that, but also more wonderful. Because the person listening to this who doesn't care about the Panthers says to him or herself, "I'm not taking pride in something like that."
They literally worked on that play in training camp, Dan. Mm-hmm. Like, they practiced that.
Like, it's not pathetic. They're a dump and chase team who wins puck battles against the boards, and in the biggest moment in franchise history, they did exactly what they were supposed to do.
To perfection.
This is like the hockey equivalent of the Heat. They said that the Ray Allen shot, they practice that every single day, where everyone has to lie down on the ground, and then they throw the ball up, and Ray has to get up, run to the corner, catch and shoot. Although that's a much more exciting play than they kept the puck in the corner for 15
this
seconds.
is the reason I bring it up to you, I mean, specifically, is because wherever it is that people love defensive basketball,
I love it.
Zaz loves defense in general, okay? But I would say, the New Jersey Devils were once upon a time ruining playoff hockey. Because
with an illegal style of play now.
But strangling games to death. And so you guys taking pride in this is funny, but and the team is multifaceted, so it's not just doing that. But that is a trait that other teams don't like.
Like that 2-0 win for the Panthers in Game 4 as opposed to the 5-4 overtime win in Game 3. That 2-0 win is like you're whispering sweet nothings into my ear. Like, that's my game right there.
A lot of people don't pay attention to defense and just think it's like happening in your own zone. But pay attention to this series because you have 4 of the best defensive forwards on the planet. Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, Barkov, and who I hope wins the Selke, and Sam Reinhart. Just watch what they do when the puck is in Toronto's zone and how they chase and how they wreak havoc. And look at what Toronto's done in the neutral zone this series. Like, if you like defense, this is a delightful thing to watch.
And you don't even mention Lundell there.
Yeah.
Lundell is up and coming
Baby
in that
Markey.
conversation.
Yeah. Oh, Listerainen's probably the most underrated player in the NHL. He's probably been Florida's best player throughout these playoffs in terms of consistency.
And finally, you got Forsling, who looks like Gustav Forsling. I mean, the defense, I forget who it was on the breakaway, but he bottled him up before Bobrovsky had to make it easier.
Is Draisaitl a good weed strain?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Leon Draisaitl?
No. You need something that people can pronounce.
What about
syllables.
Nugent Hopkins?
Nugent. Smoking on that Nugent is like, that's
What about
a good one.
Evander Kane?
Oh, yeah. Something on that Kane. Wait a second. Wait, that's something else. I got a question about hockey defense. I find this to be very
Call it
fun.
defense.
Well, I say defense because I come from the hardwood.
It's a goaltender goalkeeper situation.
We actually had a defense chant, which is rare at a hockey game, and they weren't doing defense.
How about Charlie Hustle? Is that a good
That
strain?
is a great drug strain. It's a great weed strain.
Do it when you're alive.
Ottinger.
Oh, what do you think caused it?
Charlie Hustle.
Hellebuck.
Smoking that hella book.
Smoking that shoeless. That shoeless Joe Jackson. They're like, where are my shoes? Oh, my God, this is good. Wow.
That Reitinen.
When it comes to defense in general, I mean, I do believe it's going to be a little bit confusing to people when they crown Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, if indeed they do that we've been talking so much about stars and star players and star players and star players, and we undervalue defense so much that we don't pay attention. That team won 68 games. Yeah, they can get free throws, and they're very good, but defensively they're extraordinary, and when that holds up the championship, it's unsatisfying.
Well, Dan, a couple of things. Number one, told you in January that these guys are going to win. So I want to, again, make it pretty clear. I was out on that Oklahoma City thing pretty early because...
Maybe you want to take a victory lap. That went so well last time.
They still might not win this series.
Sure. The thing I wanted to ask about defense, I find in basketball, it's pretty frustrating to me that we tend to not give the defense credit. Forget about not knowing how to measure it. We don't give it credit, right? So Jokic has bad games with an S in this series, and it turns into what's wrong with Jokic, not what is Oklahoma City doing
Right.
that is making him so uncomfortable? And that was the question I was going to ask you guys before you just sang the praises of every single player on the defense. I'm like, all right, get to the point. Like, in hockey, do people praise the defense, or do they just say, man, Austin Matthews had a bad night again?
Well, Austin Matthews has been playing well defensively in this series, as has Marner, but that's not what they give them the big-time money for. Austin Matthews can make the same amount of money that he makes right now not giving a flying F about defense, because they pay him to score goals and help others score goals, which is why the Toronto media is asking, where is he?
And Mitch Marner has 0 shots in the last 2 games.
Like, I mean,
That's
this was
unacceptable.
certainly the narrative last year where each round, wow, the Panthers have bottled up Kucherov. Wow, the Panthers have bottled up Zibanejad. And wow, the Panthers have bottled up Draisaitl. Like, that was it every series.
Smoking on that Zibanejad. I kind of like that one.
A Zaslow snort. Should we feel honored? I
do
feel like
that.
I feel like it's one of the highest honors that you can get.
Why is it when you're younger, if you snort, it's like embarrassing? I snort sometimes when I laugh. Whatever.
I feel the same way. It's like, why do people make fun of you when you cough after taking a pull out that Zaza Pachulia?
That's a good one.
Why is
The
Max going back to HBO Max?
Is this a Nathan Fielder bit? Is this like
Dude,
going from
well,
HBO Max
I
to
feel like
to
they
Max
just
back to
changed
HBO
the Max logo also to look more like HBO. Now they're changing the name back.
It's a Nathan Fielder thing.
It
By the
has
way,
to be.
You
I
can find our shows.
I don't know if my own life is real. I think Nathan Fielder's going to walk out with that laptop on that harness and just kind of like,
That looks so cool.
no, it
Come
doesn't.
on, man. What?
It does. He looks like this guy's taking care of business.
You should get one of those. When's your birthday? Hey, isn't your birthday like now?
Next week.
All right, Dan. Laptop holder for his waist.
The Amin here, like all great art, okay, you will eventually come to moral conundrums that will make you ask yourself questions. The best of art, and that show is a wonder and delight. And I am confused by both the HBO Max switch, but I'm also confused in this age when really talented people are having trouble getting things made because there are just a few people making them, and I don't think people totally realize, like, the threat AI and that writer's strike, like what's happening in Hollywood. The idea that this person is being given this budget to make this thing, I don't know how many more chances you're going to see that someone gets the chance to do that because of how ambitious this television show is, and because Amin, for one, has questions about art and the morality of the television show.
Dan, as people know, I'm a guy with a pretty low tolerance or a high tolerance, to shenanigans, right? I don't get uncomfortable. I don't get cringy. I hate when the kids are like, oh, it's still cringe. No, I was like, laugh at it. It's funny. But this last episode of the rehearsal, I cringed. I was like, there was a point where I literally yelled at my TV, Nathan, no, Nathan, because like it's just stacking on. And at some point, I feel like, am I wrong to enjoy this? Yeah. What he's exploiting people. This isn't. It's not funny anymore. Except it is hilarious. But
I thought the point of the show is that he's helping people.
No, that's his other
That's
show.
Nathan for you.
what? No. He's helped. Well,
He is like ultimately like aiming to help a lot of people.
yes,
Well.
like he's supposed to. This is the theme for this season. Is trying to fix air safety. Basically, the reason why we have these crashes is because the pilots and the co-pilots have a very tenuous relationship. That is the premise. Now, as he's exploring this
I
and
don't
how,
like hearing that.
well, no, but it's like he's trying to
Dude,
save it.
there's so many like recreations of air tragedies that'll make you pull your hair out.
I mean, you're telling me, like, next time I'm going to be on a flight, I'm going to be thinking to myself, those two guys who are in control, like, they're not getting along?
I bet
That's-
it's already changing things.
It's
I bet.
worse than they're not getting along. They didn't know each other 3 minutes before they stepped on the plane
That's
together.
it's crazy, and the power dynamic is such that the co-pilot, even though he's there to be like a check and balance, you can't check that man over there or that woman over there, because if you do, that might be your ass. Yeah. So they just go along.
Why
with
is
things.
it your ass?
I mean, that might be
Because the
your ass.
pilot has so much power. He
Because
basically
things are
controls
just
your career.
different now. You can't say things that you used to, because if you do, you get banned from all these social media dating sites without explanation.
Shout out to Pilot Jeff. But yeah, so like that's a real thing. Apparently, I didn't know about it until I started watching the show. The problem is him exploring how to fix that and how to enhance that leads him on all these side quests, and the side quests keep ratcheting up the uncomfortable like feelings, which is fine. It was all funny with the Paramount Plus, this kind of Nazi Germany thing. Like all that stuff was ha up until you get to the point where you have actors and he's telling them, hey, go as far as you want in this romantic scene, and then you bring in their significant others to watch from behind the scenes. I cringed for the first time in my life.
First time in your life. Isn't that the whole premise of Cheaters? Like the whole, like, isn't this cringe television for profit something that is you can't turn away from?
This is high
no,
art.
of course.
There's no comparison between Cheaters.
I'm saying the same feel. For Amin to cringe, when Amin says he's got a high tolerance for this, Amin would like to put comedy above most of our sensibilities.
I get very uncomfortable with that kind of stuff.
Dude, you'll be.
I'm going to watch a show, like I'm into it, but I get really I may have to turn away.
First season, he might have scarred a kid for life.
Yeah, the part where he was raising a kid. Someone asked me the other day, like, you didn't think that was bad? And I said, I mean, I did. I just didn't cringe. I was like, oh, come on, Nathan. But I wasn't. I was like, ugh. Yesterday or this week, I was like, ugh, watching that.
Zaz, what was the trailer you saw recently that you were talking about of a horror movie that made you, like, are you skittish about these things?
So we love horror movies in my house. Me, my two boys, we go to the movies. We go to the movies for Marvel movies, superhero movies, and horror movies. We see all the horror movies in the theater. But this movie in particular, it's called Weapons. Have you seen the trailer for this? Anyone? What's her name? Julia Garner?
I've seen it on mute. I know it's got the people talking.
Josh Brolin?
I've been asked about this trailer, and I've been
Thanos?
meaning to get to it.
So the trailer for this movie, Weapons, and the trailer is so creepy. It shows these kids like they're running out of their homes in the middle of the night in darkness, and they're going missing, and something is happening, and the kids and it's freaking me out every time I see the trailer. I'm really scared of it, but I have to go see it. I have to find out why are the kids running out of these homes, and I'm scared, but I gotta know. I have to know.
Is this a generational thing? You said Josh Brolin and you said Thanos.
Yeah.
I thought of Brand from the Goonies. Josh Brolin's always going to be Mikey's older brother.
40 years ago.
I'm just saying the Goonies was the Goonies.
He's old.
No, I get it, but you see
Brand.
Sean Astin. Do you say Goonies?
I say Rudy.
I'd say Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy.
right.
Yeah.
But I don't say Lord of the Rings
Don't.
or Encino Man or any other
That's right.
horrible
That's
movie.
because you're not a
Phobe.
virgin.
I would like to talk to you guys about the state of the movie industry in general, the R-rated movie. I don't know how many of you are watching Seth Rogan and what he's doing on Apple TV with the studio. And I don't know. I think it's critically acclaimed. It's funny, and I found that it's getting harder and harder to make some of this stuff funny.
What you guys didn't? Like, you guys weren't died at the Kool-Aid episode where they're trying to cast
Yeah, it was
Kool-Aid.
great.
Like, but like to me the hilarity is the kernel of truth in it, which is these are the types of, it's obviously it's trumped up for comedic purposes, but these are the type of dumbass conversations they have. Oh, we can't have that. Oh, it's too like, oh, we gotta have someone who's this. Oh, how do we have representation? And then it's like you stray so far from making the thing into just trying to answer the disembodied voice of the internet saying, how could you cast such and such and such and such? It's the same thing with the Snow White. Brad Williams, friend of the show, was talking about this because originally it was supposed to be little people playing the dwarves, and then Dinklage comes out and says that's so beneath us. And every single dwarf actor in Hollywood is like, it's beneath you, you pompous ass. The rest of us need jobs. We can't go out and get regular kind of roles or whatever because of the prejudices in Hollywood. So he basically effectively killed at least 7 jobs, maybe even more when you talk about stunt people.
I want to seize on something Dan said about R-rated comedies because I think that like since the 1960s, we've never had such a long stretch of unpopular R-rated comedies. They're just not even making them anymore, let alone like they don't even have an opportunity to succeed or fail at the box office. And I think the natural place that people went was the societal shift that happened in the teens. Like if you watch Wedding Crashers, if you watch 40-Year-Old Virgin even, there are things and lines in those movies that you can't get this movie made. You can't get a laugh out of that line anymore.
Do you like to do it yourself?
There's so many things from those, which was probably the early 2000s, a golden era of what is considered to be a golden era of
Raunchy
comedies.
comedies.
And it's a lost art form. But now there is one specific movie and one studio in A24 that's trying to bring the R-rated comedy back.
Everything they put out is great. That studio.
It's great to be a tastemaker in that way. Like if you see the A24 script logo, you're like, okay, I'm in. I'm going to give this a chance.
They do awesome horror movies.
Well, they're venturing into comedy with an R-rated comedy. I got to co-host a screening yesterday at the University of Miami for this movie Friendship, and guys, I'm here to tell you, I think R-rated comedies are back.
Dan, just like that, make no mistake, R-rated comedies are back.
So hold on
Tim
a
Robinson.
second. He's meeting this. He meets his standard with what he's doing with Paul Rudd, because his standard is now in a tastemaker comedy place where if he makes it, people are curious because he's so odd.
So one of the EPs of the movie, Alexis Garcia, who's a proud son of Miami, right? He talked to us before the screening, and he said, look, here's the deal. I was a huge fan of I Think You Should Leave. I'm a huge fan of Tim Robinson's comedy. And I said, man, I want to make something with him in it. But here's the thing. How do you sell it to the studio? And he sold it to the studio as
a low-budget Paul Rudd comedy.
So Paul Rudd is kind of like the Trojan horse that gets him in, but it really is Tim Robinson is the star of the movie.
It's an extended sketch of I Think You Should Leave.
It's a very, if you like I Think You Should Leave, it is that kind of movie. But it's not like, you know how like in the 90s we had SNL movies that were extensions of SNL sketches, and like maybe 15 minutes in you're like, okay, this never should have been longer than a sketch. That's not what this movie is. This movie was gripping, and it makes you kind of reconcile certain feelings that you have, like in my relationships as a person, as an adult. Are my friendships really friendships? Am I imposing, or are other people imposing on me? All of these questions come into your head in a very Tim Robinson way.
I cannot wait to rewatch it because there are so many like little, what many people might call little throwaway lines that aren't designed to get huge laughs, and maybe people aren't even catching the first time. There are so many lines in this movie, which is a staple of an R-rated comedy. Lines that you can go back to and revisit, like Anchorman and Wedding Crashers over and over again. I think this movie is certainly capable of that.
So, Dan, to answer the question that Mike brought up, is the R-rated movie dead, and can this bring it back? What effectively killed the R-rated movie wasn't the sensibilities. It wasn't like, oh, we're just too sensitive as a people now and you can't say these jokes or whatever. Not saying that you can say these jokes. I'm saying the idea that you can't make an R-rated movie that doesn't feature those jokes.
But you at least admit that it's a contributing factor.
It is, but it's not number one. The number one thing is the shift in Hollywood, A, to things that are IP-based, and then B, and this is perhaps even bigger, the shift from physical video sales to streaming, right? Because back in the day, all these movies, yes, Wedding Crashers was a massive success. Yes, Hangover was a massive box office success. But these movies were not made to be box office successes. They wanted to be modest, like make up our costs in the box office, but the majority of our money was going to come from DVDs and Blu-rays and VHS and all that stuff. That's how they were making their money on the back end. Take a movie like Half-Baked with Dave Chappelle and Neil Brennan, right? It cost them about $6-7 million to make. They made about 10 or 11 at the box office, but the video sales afterward double and triple and quadrupled what it cost them to make. Once you take that away, now we're in this, it's kind of like with musicians. They used to sell CDs, right, for $12.99 at Sam Goody. Now it's all streaming, and you get a fraction of a penny on each stream. It's so much harder to recoup your money, and that's what killed the R-rated movie.
Yeah, I mean, think about a film. We mentioned Ben Stiller a lot today. Zoolander. Do you know what its release date was when it came out to the box office?
Like the Tuesday before, or the Friday before 9/11?
It was the Friday before 9/11, and the box office was just totally dead, and no one went to watch Zoolander in the theaters. It became popular because of DVD rentals and DVD purchases and word of mouth, and that is something that just doesn't really happen anymore. Like, you'll occasionally have these weird random movies that'll crack Netflix's top 10, and you'll have an article like say, why is this so popular? But that is a very rarefied air. Before, it used to be commonplace, especially for comedies.
It used to be where if a movie was good in the theater, you would know it because every week more and more people are going, and it's making more and more money every single week. And now, if you didn't make all the money the first week, you're done.
Month and a half later, it's already available streaming.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions to ask you guys because Tony is a hustler. Billy is the nemesis of Tony. Tony has a segment coming up here where he went. What happened, Billy?
I don't think of Tony.
Okay, but Tony went to Mexico, and he's got a segment coming up here, and I think he's working against himself because I'm told there's a lot of Spanish in it. Should I be worried about?
Also, a lot of inner thigh in his promo for it.
Okay, so how do you feel about this, Billy?
About Tony in general, or the way he dresses like a clown, or
His inner thigh.
His inner
his
thigh.
inner thigh?
And, let's close with Mike Fuentes' cameo.
Oh.
So I just noticed that the audio I sent you on that first one, completely horrid. So we're gonna do this one. I hope it sounds better. This is Cynthia, by the way. Hey, Cynthia. Wait for Cynthia. So yeah, really, we'll sing it again right now. Really, it goes, Mama, you know I love you. Mama, Mama, you're the queen of my heart. Your love is like tears from the stars. Mama, I just want you to know loving you's like food to my soul. Yeah, I don't know why the audio on the other one came out so bad. Probably because of Bluetooth and cars. And now I know not to do that. So thank you for being the guinea pig. All right, have a good one.
Familia, Tony Tonight is brought to you by Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Did you know the very first margarita was made with Cuervo? There's nothing like the original. It's marg season, so keep it Cuervo all summer long. Vamos.
Papi, papi, con cual papi, 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 con cual boy, con cual sea papi.
So we've been driving all over Miami, and we're on Coral Way right now. We finally found, as you can see here in the back, the afilador. Not like you picture, not this big, huge van, but we've got in the back here, we got Daniel, who's going to show us the tricks of the trade to being un afilador. Oye, primero, gracias. Mira cómo tiene ahí tijera. Ok, so explícame. Afilador, ¿qué significa? ¿Qué haces ahí? Dime algo.
Bueno, yo afilo tijera durante 27 años aquí en Miami, a las barberías, a las peluquerías, a las factorías. A eso me dedico, es un negocio familiar.
Es un negocio que tú empezaste con tu hermano, que ya falleció, pero tú tienes la legacía de él en esto.
No, lo empezó mi papá en Cuba.
¡Wow!
Y enseñó a mi hermano me enseñó a mí.
Wow.
Y yo y él somos los más famosos aquí en Miami, afilando.
Wow. Sabía
muchos años vivimos.
Pasaste del papá, del hijo, y el otro hijo. Sí. Ya tú tienes eso y el negocio tuyo.
Vivimos de eso.
Y dime, ¿por qué lo tienes cerrado ahí? ¿Por qué no pueden ver la gente?
Exacto, porque tenemos...
porque lo tienes ahí, escondido todo.
Secreto. Tenemos una receta secreta.
Ok.
Para poder hacer de afilar tijera.
¿Cómo es eso? ¿Cómo?
No, esto...
¿La secreta?
Sí.
¿Cómo es eso?
Estas son tijeras caras. Entonces, hay que tener una manera casi perfecta para poderlas hacer. Si una de estas tijeras yo las echo a perder, yo me busco un problema con el cliente, o con la peluquera, o con los groomies, o con los tapiceros. Pero estas tijeras en realidad son finas, son caras. Entonces, tenemos una receta y logramos la receta por muchos años, por eso podemos vivir de esto. Pero hay mucha gente pendiente a la receta y a nosotros nos ha costado toda una vida, a mi papá, a mi hermano, a mí, lograr.
En dos países, en Cuba y
aquí.
Perfecto las recetas de
receta.
Wow. ¿Y me puedes enseñar un?
Sí, claro que te voy a enseñar, claro. Ya.
Lo tienes aquí, mira, escondido.
Hey, mira la parte de
adelante.
Entonces, ok, yo para poder echar a estar ahí tengo que arrancar el banco.
Ok.
Ahora voy a... sí, claro, tú lo aguantas. ¿Lo aguantas?
Ahí está, mira.
Yo voy a abrir.
He's going to go turn on the van right now. But I got all the scissors ready, waiting for him. These are expensive scissors. They're good. You just heard it turn on. I'm excited. I've never seen inside of what this looks like.
Súbete, siéntate ahí y ensúciate. Espérate. Yo tengo 47,000 seguidores en TikTok.
Wow.
Yo tengo más de 3,000 groomies. Miami es la ciudad que más groomies hay. Hay muchos camiones de perros.
Wow.
Muchos camiones, yo tengo muchos camiones
Pero tú eres nacional también, no solo en Miami.
Sí, desde Texas, New Jersey, Nueva York, me mandan tijeras.
Te mandan tijeras.
Me llaman.
Aquí
a Miami. Aquí a Miami.
Wow.
Entonces, ellos me contactan, yo le doy la dirección, nos mandan la tijera, peluquería.
¿No tienen afiladores en New Jersey, en Nueva York, en California, en Texas? No tienen nada.
No.
Esto existe nada más aquí en Miami.
Existe solamente aquí,
Maño, papi. Te la comiste, ¿eh?
Entonces, por ejemplo, vamos a hacer algo aquí o vamos a hacer algo aquí. Vamos a hacer algo aquí. Esto es lo que hacemos. Algo rápido. Y así la probamos. Pruébala tú.
No se siente mal.
Bueno, en realidad faltó un proceso. Pruébala vieja.
Ay.
Esto te lo hice muy rápido para que tengas una idea, ¿no?
Wow.
¿Qué te parece?
No, está, bro. ¿Y tú haces todo el día?
Todo el día. Es que no me alcanza el día.
No te alcanza el día por el negocio porque hay más negocio que día.
Hay más negocio que día.
Coño.
Está bueno.
Eso es un problema bueno.
Sí, un problema bueno.
¿Y tienes un machete aquí para defenderte?
No tengo machete para defenderme. No, para defenderme tengo una 45. Una 45.
un Glock.
Ya.
Ok, la cuestión más importante. El sonido del afilador. Cuando yo estaba criándome ahí en Kendall, lo oía. Y mi abuela, oye, coge, dale para el afilador. Y yo corría para allá, le dije al tipo.
Sí.
Pero el sonido del afilador, ¿lo tienes aquí?
Sí, ya lo ven.
Oh my God, ok. Ven para acá.
Vayan para adelante.
All right, you guys gonna come over here. He's gonna play the sounds. All right, here we go. Here it is. That's it. This brings me back to my childhood.
And the Spanglish too, which is perfect.
That brings me back so many memories. Oye, me da...
Ahora sí.
Oh my God. Ya me pone como 10 años de ahí corriendo para el afilador. Oye, Daniel, gracias por todo.
No, gracias a ti, gracias
Check
a ti.
him out on TikTok. El Afilador 305. El Afilador 305. Check him out on TikTok. 47,000 people follow this guy on TikTok. You go do it too.
Thank you.
Gracias, papi.
Gracias.
Mi gente, thank you for watching Tony Tonight.
From game night to parties with friends or special anniversary, celebrating important occasions means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. Now's a perfect time to celebrate legendary stories with friends, family, and a great tasting light beer. It's Miller time. When I think of Miller Lite, I think of me and my dad cheersing, watching a Marlins game, on a cruise together. We get the and the cheers. It's just, when I think of Miller Lite, I think of times with my dad, times with family and friends. It's the original light beer since 1975, still iconic 50 years later. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. That's right. It's time for Against the Spread.
Can I put a disclaimer out there on Against the Spread, given that I am telling you, Juju cares deeply about the picks he makes, he researches them, and more often than not, he gets 2 out of 3, except when Gary Payton Jr. stinks and you can't even get an assist and a half out of it.
Dan's talking about Thursday Thunder. We are doing Against the Spread.
I'm talking about his general gambling advice.
Let's go over to Roy.
Round 2, Game 5, Florida Panthers at Toronto Maple Leafs. The Panthers are the favorites tonight at 1.5 goals.
Everyone knows that.
Yes. The underdogs have covered the puck line in each of the Panthers' last 11 games at Scotiabank Arena. That's not going to happen tonight because the Panthers are the favorites, and they are going to win. They are the favorites at 1.5 against the spread.
Billy, bring us home.
I'm going to keep it at Scotiabank. And I'm going to take the Maple Leafs +1.
Oh, you dog. You dog.
Now, the last time we were in this scenario, I proudly took the Panthers because Chris Cody and Mike Ryan told me Panthers bounce back. That's what they do. And
Hello, Dolly.
They did not cover that 1.5 point spread that day. I'm not saying the Panthers are going to lose. I'm just saying I don't think that they're going to win by 2 goals tonight.
Against the spread.
I got a lot of shit for that last time I did that. What are you doing?
Well, and you were right. I was wrong because I took bad advice. So now Roy, I think of you as my muse. So when you did that a couple weeks ago, my ideas mill of sorts. And when you did that a couple weeks ago, I said, you know what? I should have gone with Roy. I shouldn't have gone against him. And I did. So I'm going to take inspiration from you last week, and I'm going to take your pick, and you're taking my pick. I know as I'm your ideas mill.
The bet is over.
And I lost last week, unfortunately.
He's still going against me, though.
Well, he's going against
you. The Roy.
He's going against you, but what he's also doing is choosing this sweet cowardly spot where he picks against your team, but not enough that your team's going to lose.
Not his team, our team, our Ice Cats.
Okay.
I'm watching tonight.
All right, Juju, I'm sorry, it's a big one tonight, and I don't know whether Juju cares about the Florida Panthers. A lot of time people care about stuff around here because we're caring about the teams. I want to apologize publicly to DraftKings and to Juju that I still don't know the difference between Against the Spread and Thursday Thunder.
It's only been 4 years, Dan.
But Juju is also very good, very good at the gambling. I shouldn't say also very good. He's the only one around here who is very good, but he gets disgraced by having to get all 3 right when he only gets 2 out of 3 right every time, as opposed to you guys who just get everything wrong.
What?
I'm really good at hockey.
Get everything wrong.
Like shockingly good at hockey.
Juju, welcome. Did you the basketball last night? I didn't feel like OKC and the Nuggets, given the size of what that game was. I don't think we talked about it quite enough.
Right, 2 MVPs going head to head. You dig? Like, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander stepped up in a big way in a pressure-filled game, which he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to play in. He had the opportunity to show the world last night that him and his team can prevail. And like you said earlier, I think that this is the toughest test that they will have to face if they are, in fact, en route to a championship.
You've been great on the Celtics. You're still wounded today, right? Like that. That when you think about how a season ends or how it feels like it ends, it not only feels like it's over. I've got to think that the Celtics haven't felt quite like this since they went from down 3-0 to tying 3-3 to then losing in Game 7.
Yes, it hurts so very badly. It hurts even more having to see you guys kind of just jump on the Knicks bandwagon just because the Celtics are losing. It's like my brother Amin, who I love, who I was shared a special moment last year with. Tears were in my eyes as the Celtics confetti was falling from the sky. He was right there with me. And now look at him, Brutus. Look, just LJ. And seeing Zaz's ugly mug just smile. He put his fingers in his face and made a smile just because he was so happy that the Boston Celtics had lost. And then you, Dan, I saw you hoped for an injury. Like it's been rough, but yes, it's not a woe. This is what happened on television.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, but Juju, you did understand that I was just like a little pinky toe or something. I didn't specify what kind of injury. I didn't want a major injury. I wasn't rooting for him. Is there no distinction there?
No, not at all. No distinction. But for the last time I may get to do this, we are the champions. It's been a great run. I see you guys again probably in 2027.
While we're burying former champions, the Nuggets are 2-5 in the playoffs when Jokic has a 40-point game. Non-Jokic Nuggets went 11 for 53 outside of 4 feet. That is defense too, though. That is defense. 20.8% shooting, and shooting in the fourth quarter. Jokic 4 for 6. The rest of the Nuggets 1 for 15.
Terrible. The supporting cast has to step up. It's the Michael Porter Jr.'s of the world. It's the Christian Browns of the world. Like, you got to knock down those big shots in those clutch moments, or else your hero is going to be a hero, but he's still going to get slain.
Player weed names. Surely you can do better than we did.
Yes. I like everybody to close their eyes and thinking about puffing on a pack of Precious Achiuwa.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one. Also, puffing on a little bit of maybe a weed strand, the Haywood Highsmith.
He's better at
You're good at this, Juju.
Yes, he's better. He was listening and saying they're terrible at it. They don't know how to do it. Dreisaitl, Dan? Really? Dreisaitl?
What about some TJ Kushmanzada?
I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I was also listening to you guys pretty much basking the glow of the R-rated films making a return, the R-rated comedies. So I made a top 5 list of R-rated comedies of all time that I can think of.
Okay, of all time. Can I ask the group here, the last, we don't have to go back to like The Hangover for a comedy that everyone was talking about, right? We don't have to go back 15 years, right? It's more recent than that. The biggest, everyone right now is talking about Sinners. That's not a comedy, but one of these word of mouth comedies where everyone's talking about it. What's the last Universal one?
Blockers?
I loved it. It wasn't Universal though. Like Tag. I'm trying to think like
that's a good movie.
Game Night. Like they're good. Good Boys. Good Boys is one that kind of broke through. Had some word.
Oh yeah, that movie's dirty.
Yeah.
But I stun you when I go back to The Hangover and you don't immediately say something else, right? It seems way too distant to go.
22 Jump Street. When was that? I love 22 Jump Street. Don't even laugh like that. Dude.
Pineapple Express.
This is the end.
This is the end.
Top 5 that he can think of as noted by Juju. I don't remember what the topic of this was.
Right. And of the last like 20 years too. I'll add that on there. OLI Knocked Up.
Strong.
Hell yeah.
Fuck you, hormones.
Also, OLI, I Love You, Man.
One of my favorite rom-coms ever. I love that movie.
Hell yeah. Number 5, Pineapple Express.
Sorry, I undercut you there, Juju.
I thought the hurricane season was over. Number 4, the underrated, criminally underrated, Hall Pass.
How much ice does it take for a polar bear to, well, whatever.
Yeah, enough to break the ice. Number 3, Old School.
It's part-time, dick.
Jeez.
Yep, you my boy, Blue. Number 2, Super Bad. You got to know. And number 1, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Classic.
I think we might have arrived in a new conversational space. I thought the wheelhouse of this show and sophomoric men in general was some form of 90s baseball. But sitting around talking about movies you like, staring at each other and just doing lines for each other, I believe is the greatest of the love languages.
It's the ultimate guy thing.
Yeah.
Like, girls never do that.
Pathetic.
Such a guy thing.
Women also. Women.
But
also, I think I would like to put on the record, Chris, you are an amazing EP. You have been doing a great job. I think no one's better for the job than you. You feel me?
Dang it. Thank you, Juju. Hear that, Dan?
Well, what
Dick.
is
Whoa. You got to say kinda.
It's-
Kind of a
I mean,
dick.
I would just say, just to answer my calls.
Thanks, Juju.
We're not done yet.
Oh,
we got to
okay.
get to polls. We got to get to polls.
We got
Well, he got
polls.
his
Oh,
line
yeah,
in, and he was happy.
Look at him. Look at him.
He's
Oh, we got
getting
food
paid, Dan.
outside.
He
We gotta
calls
get
the
some
shots.
food.
He's
That's
such
what
a
it is.
confident
He's in
executive
charge.
producer.
Feeling himself.
Did that not feel like an ending?
He gets an apology. He calls me a dick. And he says,
That's your EP right there.
That's a wrap.
no, I want the polls.
Right. Also, the show that you said with Seth Rogan that's on right now in the studio, it's amazing. Like you say, every episode, I can't breathe until the episode is
Juju,
over.
let me ask you this, because it's such is Seth Rogan, I underestimated him. I did not think he could make something that is elevated level of comedy for Seth Rogan from the other movies you were talking about, like Pineapple Express. He's making fun of his own industry in a way that's really funny and smart. And I didn't think Seth Rogan necessarily had it in him.
What are we doing?
I'm not.
We're taking out Seth Rogen
No,
now?
I'm saying he's
You already
great.
took out Ben Stiller earlier.
I'm saying he's even better than I thought he was, and he was plenty good. I underestimated him.
Don't watch Neighbors
Right.
2. That was terrible.
I liked
All
it.
right. Every time he said last episode, like every time someone liked to thank Sal Saperstein, I was like, oh my God.
It was
what
funny
a great
every
episode.
time. It was funny every time.
Poll number 1. Does Mango Mountain Dew sound good to you? 67% of the audience says no, it does not.
You got to try
Damn.
it. Juju, you got to try it. It's pretty good.
I'll take your word for it. I'm going to try it. Does Jessica's grandpa suck?
He's true.
Those are two different things, though. I'll take your word for it, and I'll try it. Those are contradictory things. I'll take your word for it as you're not going to do it, and then you said you'll try it.
True that. How about I'll clarify? I'm going to take your word for it, and I'm going to go to the store as well and test out that Mango Mountain Dew.
But that's also the same thing you just said in that if you
This is a semantic situation.
This is like Dan asking Jessica, can you be a hardcore Christian if you're or a Catholic, hardcore Catholic if your grandma bans Pope jokes?
Victory lap?
Those are the same
not
thing.
my best work. You guys want me to take another victory lap? You guys
No,
can get some
no,
drinks.
please don't do that. No.
They're tired. of that thing.
57% of the audience says yes, Jessica's grandpa does indeed suck. And the last poll, what the hell, Johnny Depp? Please get out of here, please. 85% of the audience says yes. Back to you guys.
We're done?
Are we?
What happened to Wild Billy Wednesday? Give me some Wild Billy Wednesday music. What happened, Billy?
little outro music?
Where's the Wild Billy Wednesday?